Hello, folks. We'll be getting started in just a moment. Just making sure everything's all pulled up and working properly. So it goes. Let's see. Mostly I need to get the chat up on my phone and we should be ready to get started. We all know that that's the slow part of this process at this point, don't we? uh, let's see. Is it gonna behave? It is. Good. Good. Set that on up over here. And, oh goodness, actually, there's one more thing I have to do. It's a surprise. It's a special surprise. So I'm gonna mute real quick, and I'm gonna get that done. It's gonna take like 30 seconds. Like, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright. I think that works. Vaguely. Sort of. I'm. I haven't actually hit the send button on it. What we're doing is actually we've got I haven't committed to the idea yet. I haven't. Here, let me start pulling up the Kerbal Space program, since that's what we're here for right now. We may not be doing Kerbal Space program all stream. Some friends of mine want to play Victoria 3, and I was thinking that maybe I might stream my perspective of that later, so we may be doing that in a few hours. Not sure. Not decided yet. Um, so. But I do need to ask their permission to do so. So. That's what I need to do because I didn't do that yesterday like I told myself I was going to. Um, and now I have to do it now because I'm dumb. So it goes, right? So it goes. But I hope that everybody's doing well today. Of course, today's Friday. If I haven't said that already, today is Friday. Um, and that means that we're playing Kerbal Space Program today. I'm sure you could already tell. It's like in the title. Um, but if you couldn't tell, that's okay. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just gonna let you know now. Today we're gonna be playing Kerbal Space Program. I've got it loading up right here. We're gonna go on over to the game as soon as it's done loading. It does take its sweet time loading actually. I'm just staring at that little loading bar go. It's almost halfway. Okay, that's a little more than halfway. Okay, we get out of the loading bar, and now we're in the main menu, and I can bring you all over. Awesome. Awesome. Let me do that real quick. Let me go grab it. was brave. You could probably hear it. I was brave. I sent the message. I've asked permission. It took all the willpower I had. Here, let's actually move us on over to the game. You've got to change the game capture, Scarlet. It's okay, you caught yourself. You did it. You did it. You did it. You're so good at this. You're such a professional. So I don't actually remember what we're doing in Kerbal Space Program. I know last time we did some stuff around the Mun and Minimus, like we did that really cool rendezvous, I kind of recall. Could I tell you what we're doing right now? No. No, I could not. And that's okay. That's okay, we'll figure it out. It can't be that complicated. You know, it's not like it's rocket science or anything. Yes, and also my apologies for my tardiness today. We were going to be on time, but I woke up with this big ol' headache. And frankly, I almost canceled stream over it. Like, I was sitting there, laying there in bed, and I was, like, hovering over the Discord, like, oh, do I send a cancellation message? And I didn't, because it was getting a little better, and it got a little better. Then it got good enough that I could get up and go eat something. By the time I was done with that, like an hour after our start time, I was feeling good enough to actually come here and stream something. So I'm feeling mostly good now, for the record. You know, we're not making ourselves be here. I want to be. I feel up to it. Interesting. Interesting. So, our current main mission is to explore Minimus. We want to orbit, go on an orbital spacewalk, and return to Kerbal. Alright. Alright, that's not terrible. We've certainly done worse things for money. We've certainly done worse. I don't think we're going to be able to do any of these while we're out. That's okay. Later we'll probably get an opportunity to do the plant flag on Minimus 1. This one paired together. Okay, I think we're going to focus on exploring Minimus for now. I think that that's very doable for us, actually. I think that we already probably have a rocket that's capable of it. Because this is just flyby, right? And don't we have... It's slowly coming back to me. What the heck is this acronym that I made? Something flyby. Science flyby craft. Is that the acronym? That's so bad. Why did I name this that? But it's mounted on the heavy launch system, and I believe, yes, we've taken this thing, yeah, scientific flyby craft mounted on the heavy launch system. We have rated this already. Past Me says that this can get to the Mun and Minimus. And I believe Past Me. I think Past Me is correct. I think that's very doable, especially if we aren't going in for any kind of landing. I think we can probably just launch this as it is. It's a pretty pricey mission, but it'll pay for itself with the contract and stuff. Sure. Parachute's correct? Good. Well, that works for me. Let's see. How about we send Valentina? Get some experience on her. And, I mean, that's about it. That's about all we need to do. So, let's just get going. Let's open up with a mission to Minimus. Some exciting stuff. But yeah, regarding the potential for Victoria 3 later, for those that don't know, that is a kind of a grand strategy economic game, one of those paradox grand strategies. We could just launch. Ooh. They're a little wiggly. Interesting. I know from experience that this thing won't turn properly if we try, so I'm just gonna let it go straight up while it's in its solid stage. But yeah, I've played it with this group of friends a few times, and it's been pretty cool. I don't think I would hang out and call with them so I could keep talking to all of you, because we all know that I'm a bit of a chatterbox. But oh, I've just seen something very cool. Look at our total delta V. Even though we're burning fuel, it's actually going up. Because we're going through the atmosphere that efficiently. I did a good job on this heavy launch system. Like, clearly, considering that it's currently burning the wrong direction, like, it's burning against the orbit, we could be doing better. Right? Clearly there's room for improvement, but honestly this thing's pretty darn cool. I wonder why it's so lopsided though. It always turns this way. Maybe something to do with the scientific equipment? Maybe that's putting it off center. Oh no. We've made a mistake. Uh-oh. Whoops. Well, looks like we're doing Kerbal science and we just wasted a bunch of money on this mission. Oh dear. Oh no. I hit the stage button twice. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna burn away this way, just so we get away from our own falling parts. Because if we're falling on a similar orbit, there's, well, not orbit. If we're falling in a similar arc, like a similar parabola, there is a possibility that we could hit it, especially when we hit our parachute. So, oops. Whoops. Let's see. Let's get ready to go retrograde or something. And we'll just gently burn our way back down. Small waste of Kerbal funds there. Happens. We're off to a strong start today. Okay, here we are. Surface velocity. Let's hold us steady. We're gonna have to ditch this fuel anyhow for the staging and stuff, and I'm not willing to do it with the parachute. Remember, we're kind of a soft Iron Man kind of save here. I can't actually revert the flight, so... Not only do we not get to undo that mistake, I would also... Oh, that engine's heating up. Step it up a little. There we go. We should be respectable. What was I thinking about? What was I doing? Oh, there they go. There goes a couple things exploding. I guess guess you could just manually deploy the chute, use the engine to try and land with a little bit more intact. That doesn't seem like a massive problem. Yeah, maybe save the engine component, save a little extra money, actually. What I was thinking was, crew safety is also important. Valentina dying is a very expensive loss. So, but it seems okay, It seems fine. We got a little bit of science done out here. Won't be the end of the world. See, a little bit of spare stuff here and there. It'll be just fine. Just a very expensive scientific endeavor to the Kerbal grasslands, right? Come down a little bit. As we get closer, we're coming in just a little fast, I think, for this engine. So I'm gonna burn off a little fuel to cushion our landing a bit more. There we go. All good. Perfectly safe. No issues here. We'll open up those doors. We'll scrape up a little extra science here. There we go. There's the barometer. We definitely have a crew report from here. We definitely also have an EVA, but I'm going to check just for posterity. Yeah. Alright, well that sucked. That was less than ideal. That wasn't what I wanted. But so it goes, I guess. So it goes. We'll do better this time. That was definitely a loss on money. But hey, we got a lot of cash to cushion us from failures like that. And we scrape up a little bit of science too. Like, nothing to write home about, but 20 science is 20 science, believe it or not. Yeah, you recover, what, a fifth of what we put into this mission, roughly? Maybe a little more than that? Okay. Cool. Maybe let's do that again, but this time, better. It's this thing. Yeah. This time we'll do it better. Alright, remember, you've staged this together. So, like, do something like this. And launch like so. And let it run itself for a little while, and it's gonna be fine. Right? It's gonna be okay. This time we seem to be going roughly the correct direction. Set it prograde. Yeah, now we're leading the right way. I don't want to keep leading that way so violently. I know the craft will throw itself out of control if we try. But that helps. That's ever so slightly more efficient to get into an orbit. I think it'll just slowly drift to the side of its own volition. So, I'm very afraid. I'm very afraid of giving it a more severe angle than this. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know. Clearly I am not qualified to be running this program. I don't really know why that's happening. You know? Yeah, because see, we're continuing, even with stability assist, we're continuing to kind of ever so slightly turn to the side. So I guess it's not always that way. Sometimes it goes this way too. Maybe, ooh, you know what it could be? Maybe it's because the kickbacks are so wobbly. Maybe that's what's happening. Well, we've accidentally pulled off a rather nice gravity turn here. So W for us. Let's bring up maneuvering. Clear our engines. And, you know, I bet that we could go just a little bit more severe than this. Like 90 degrees, maybe? Like about 90 degrees. See how this burns out. It's rising pretty quickly. A bit more, maybe? We're rising into the thinnest parts of the atmosphere in just a moment. Up our burn rate while we do so. Keep that time to reach pretty high, maybe. Turning. This seems like I do not know like what the proper angle for this is, like most efficient. Just kind of feeling it out. This feels okay. This feels fine. Like we're about to hit 70k, so I'm just gonna go like flat and burn this way. We're going to be suborbital. We're going into space. And the question is, can we get in orbit? Keep burning right at that horizon. Up the burn speed. Looks like we're gonna be okay. Feels like we are. Readjust a little bit. Just burn straight to prograde. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till we're closer to the apoapsis so that we don't mess up our orbit and burn way out above 70k. Under 20 should be okay. Just a nice steady burn. Keep that hovering. Honestly, you could go even slower. Gosh, you could go really slow on this. Because the closer you get to that apoapsis, the more efficient this whole ordeal is going to be. Like, you pick up to around here. And that's so efficient. That looks good to me. It's beautiful. It's almost circular. Just within 1k. 1k meters of being perfectly circular. That's clean. I've gotten so much better at that, honestly. So now our mission is to go and orbit Minimus. That's what we're doing today. That's our big goal. No. Over here, maybe. So what I'm thinking... Okay. I know that we can get a gravity assist off the Mun that oftentimes launches us, like, straight into... straight into Minimus, you know? Ah, yeah, like this. Uh-huh. Like that. Then you've got to time it, right? How much would just burning straight out there cost me, though? I think I accidentally grabbed the wrong node. I think I just adjusted the wrong thing. There, make a new one. Like out here, maybe. Oh, no, not quite that much fuel. Interesting to know that theoretically we could leave just Kerbin's gravitational influence entirely using this rocket system. Where is it gonna be? It's a very small, precise target to hit, is the problem. See, that's the Mun. That's a hell of a gravity assist. Okay. Noted. Noted. That puts us on an escape. To God knows where. Maybe we're just not quite far enough out to get captured. Oh, is it a little bit eccentric? I think what I'm looking at is suggesting that Minimus's orbit is not entirely circular. You know, maybe now just isn't that time of year for Minimus. Right? It doesn't want to see guests. Wants to hole up in its study, not really be bothered with the whole thing. That's too much force. Well, where is it gonna be? Oh. You ever have a moment where you realize that you're just kind of a little dumb? Just a little missing something, you know, missing something very important. Okay, that explains it. That explains all of our issues, actually. So if you're gonna do that intercept, you're looking for something like this on this angle, right? What is going on? Why am I... What? Oh. I've done something here. I know what I've done. I know what I did. One sec, I can fix this. Let me click it, please. Delete. It's okay, I can fix this. It'll be fine. What was happening, I think, is... Okay, that's too much force by a lot. If you burn down, one of your angles goes down towards, like... But then when you would come back, it would fling you back over the top. That's why it looked funny to me. Does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. It's okay. Now... Ooh. That was a very... That's the Mun. That is the Mun, unfortunately. I am struggling. This was not this hard last time. It doesn't feel like it was. Set as target. This is gonna help. This is gonna help me a lot, actually. We'll figure it out. Ascending node. Just wanna... Maybe I should just gravity assist off the mud and get tossed into the thing. That seemed way easier than what I'm trying to do right now. I just want to kind of get an idea on how much delta V it costs is the thing. Right? Hey, that's what I'm interested in. Target at closest approach. No. So it would be over there if I make it out there? Am I reading that correctly? It's the mun that I'm hitting. My closest approach is there, and it is going to be here at that juncture. So your target has to be out this way a little bit. Give it a little extra burn. Instead, you need to go up, right? I may be doing this totally wrong. I'm sure that somebody who knows what they're doing is like rightfully like foaming at the mouth over what nonsense I'm attempting to pull off here. But like, can I get that descending node? No. No, that's still just leaving entirely. Oh, that almost looked promising. That kind of looks promising. That's my closest approach. And it's gonna be there still. Target at closest approach. Like, that's so close, is the thing. Just keep improving that angle. See if we can get it to capture us at some point. This is gonna be so strange. Why? It's like I'm burning less, and I have to burn up more. Am I just undoing what I was doing? That's my closest, the closest I'm gonna be is there. What does it mean by this? That's an improvement of a kind. Maybe rotate it out. Oh. Found it. That's so dumb looking. And that's so fuel inefficient. But, you know, for sake of theory, it would take us approximately... what, 1,300 to burn out there? 1,300 delta V to burn straight there. That's so much less efficient than the gravity assist. I'm so glad we discovered that gravity assist last time. Because now we're not going to do it. That's right, I spent all of that work, all that time. I'm not even going to do it. Unset the target. I've got a better way. I've got a way better way of doing this. You just come out here. You find like a... You find the right angle to bounce off the mun, and it throws you out. Just kind of like that. Right? It throws you right out there for way less. Hundreds less delta V. And then you just find the right position to do it. That turns into some kind of intercept. Okay, maybe I do need to set this as a target. Oh, you see, that's good. That's pretty good. Then a minor adjustment out here. Right. Or maybe back here. Not sure. And that turns into an approach. You've got like a 1-day window to turn that into some kind of orbit. And you save a couple hundred delta V and a lot of brain cells, it feels like. Very cool. Well, that explains also if Minimus is... Minmus. I keep throwing an I in there. That explains also why... How do I put this? Why our rockets keep getting thrown at strange angles by Minmus. That would explain a lot, actually. Alright, we got a lot of pretty colors on the screen. But that should be just fine. That should be just fine. We're about to hit the node, actually. Oh wow, how convenient. I'm so glad I noticed. We're actually right at the node that I was making. Cool. We'll kick off just a couple seconds before, because it takes us a moment to get up to full burn. This should work. This should work just fine. Come back here, your little maneuvering node. It keeps running. There we go. It says maneuver completed. It's a liar. It is in fact a liar. This is not what I wanted, actually. Not in the slightest. Can I prepare a very quick adjustment? Kinda, yeah. Kind of, yeah, a little bit. This is just going to be a prograde burn. We'll just send it out. Because we don't want to like fly by like this. We want to get shot out. Oh. Maybe not like that, but that's okay. We can adjust it. Maybe don't try to adjust it there. There it is. There it is. Hold on, we can get this. It's so fiddly. This angle's making this difficult for sure. We're gonna have to burn off a lot of speed anyhow to make this happen. So, something like... Ooh, something like that kind of? Come on. Something like that isn't terrible. Okay. It could definitely be worse, actually. So, let's get shuffling, shall we? Goodbye, Kerbal. We'll be back. We'll see you in a little bit. Yep, that periapsis is high enough. We're not going to crash into the mud or anything. That's a very important step in this plan. Not becoming a pancake on the surface of the mud. Takes a moment to adjust. Can we go even faster? Whew. Goodbye, mud. Ooh, a little close there. I'll probably talk to you in a little bit, mud. Then we're gonna switch on over. Now we are back in Kerbal's influence, but we're way, way out here. This is a retrograde burn, isn't it? Actually. Let's spin around to retrograde while we have the chance. Just because this rocket is not exactly a fast turner. I know we're like 4 days out, but I'm about to time warp. Looking good. Alright, 1 minute out from burn. But at this point, you could probably just start. You're pretty much right on target already. Let's give the rocket a moment to settle in. This is gonna be... We're probably gonna have to make some additional adjustments if we don't get this right the first time. But that's okay. We've got a lot of fuel left in the tank. Maybe make it really, really slow. Like this. We're gonna have to kind of eyeball it in just a little bit. As it's being very, very finicky on whether or not Minmus wants to capture us or not. Like, it's there. It's going to be there. I know it is. It's just... we gotta get caught by it. As we pass by, we can also try to slow down in order to get captured more easily. So long as we're in the neighborhood, I think we're fine. It's a little uncertain, isn't it? It's the Minimus Periapsis. This is, I think, my chance to bring it in closer. Okay, now it's going out further. You gotta stop now. Whoa. Okay, but this looks like we're gonna get captured on this approach. That looks... ew. Hello, Venus! Hello, hello, welcome. I'm going into the only space not corrupted by capitalism. Space. That's right, we are. We've left Earth behind for Kerbal. I'm gonna build space communism out here for sure, for sure. But I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing better than Whatever is happening with our orbital trajectory here. I'm just gonna go ahead and warp forward to here, and we will slow down and get captured if it becomes necessary. Because Minimus is being finicky. As it tends to do, you know? That doesn't seem necessarily uncommon. You see, there it is now. Did I change anything? No. I'm certainly better than curving physics are. Good. Good. Oh, it's disappeared again. Hypothetically, if I slowed down, does that help my case any? No. Clearly not. Well, what the heck? Well, maybe it's out here more? Oh, I found it. I figured out the problem. It's out here. Oh. Well, no, actually, I figured out the problem. It's down there. Can we go say hi? Oh, God. Just get me an almost respectable. There we go. This is the Mun, right? Not quite. This is Minimus, the second moon. As you can see, it's on a bit of a special orbit. And it's a very small, lightweight moon, you know? I'm sure you're aware. Basically no gravity, very eccentric orbit, and is currently being a massive pain to actually intercept, but I think we figured it out. I think we got it. So let's go adjust. So in a few minutes we've got to actually make this burn. Oh, come on. Slow down. Good. We've got enough electric charge. We're doing okay on that front. Been a bit since I played myself. Yep, I'm also just kind of returning to it, frankly. So you're probably going to see some pretty scuffed maneuvers, much like this one. I used to play a lot back many years ago, and then I kind of fell off it. But here the past couple of weeks we've been playing it here on stream for variety days and been having a great time with it. So we're playing on hard difficulty, career mode. So if we accidentally flatten ourselves into Minimus's surface, there's no averting the flight, unfortunately. But so it goes, right? Let's time warp forward here. And if we get this maneuver correct, it looks like this is actually going to get us captured, which is very good. And that looks like a very healthy approach to turn into an orbit. Our current mission, or the one we're working on right now, is to orbit Minimus, go on a spacewalk, and then get home. It was deep into it. Best I've ever done was a close flyby with a satellite with Duna. Oh, that's pretty good. That's probably... That may honestly be a little bit more than I ever pulled off. I did not mess around much beyond the moons. Frankly. It was not that good. Alright, it's just gonna be a little tiny burn. But it's adjusting our angle, so the timing is kind of important. I'm not gonna burn up to full. Let's go now. And slow it down. You're gonna have to eyeball this in. What is going on with this orbit? Bring it in closer. Another minor adjustment. We should be able to do this manually right here. I'm not even gonna wait till the node, frankly. Just a little tap here. If I was running an actual space program, they would have fired me a long time ago. Oh, come on. It's just so upset with me. I don't really fully understand why, but it is. What if I just slow down? Honestly, one's got Apollo, one's stuck in a mud crater on mountainous terrain. Yeah, that sounds about right. We were running, before I went ahead and made the stream, like, career, I was running a career for myself. I managed to strand, I managed to strand, our first Mun lander just on the Mun, flat out. Had to put together a whole rescue mission and everything. It was a time. On a whim. It's real cursed. You know what I think the problem is? We're coming in behind it. Maybe that'll work. Because we're coming in really, really close, relatively speaking. But we're also coming in really fast. Like, we have a super high apoapses. We have a lot of momentum we're building up, but we're coming in really close. That might be why it's freaking out. Hey, why does it say the Minimus encounters in 23 days? Hold on. Hey, you know what I think is happening? Let me click at this. It's happening on our other go-around. Oh my gosh, I'm so... No wonder we're having so much trouble trying to intercept Minimus. It's on the other side of Kerbal. No wonder. We've got to go back around. Oh, well. Oh, well. So it goes, right? How did you not realize this? Because I am the way that I am. I don't know, I was so focused on getting the maneuver node correct. I was just like completely blind to the fact that we were not anywhere close to Minimus. It was all the way over there. It's fine, it's fine. At least we have bright sides, right? Silver linings. We have fine-tuned our approach, so we're actually getting a really good attempt at an orbit here. Like, that's actually going to be a really easy orbit to make because we did all of this fine-tuning in advance. Houston, we have a problem. Damn, Minimus is on the other side. Imagine being like the flight planner for an actual space program and making that mistake. They'd fire you on the spot. They would fire you and they'd probably sue you for messing something like that up. Hi, Minimus. Good to see you. So glad you're here. So glad you could make it. Let's just go forward to where it's gonna be mad at me and decide it's gonna stop for a moment and readjust. But there we are. We're now in a flyby. Very important. And we can eyeball this. that's not going to be too terribly difficult. You just warp forward to here. The mission would have to be aborted. Don't have enough food for the astronauts to wait 21 days. Yeah, thank goodness food is not modeled in this game. That the little Kerbals, they just, I don't know, do they photosynthesize? I'm not sure. They're green, aren't they? Snacks optional for them. Here we are. Here we are. Hello. Hello, Minmus. Don't worry, we're just here for a little flyby. Just here for a little flyby. Let's bring this in. Let's get a little bit closer. This should not be a very difficult burn. Let's get that little bit. Probably 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, wow. This is a powerful engine, isn't it? Something like this. With mods, you can add the need for that. I'm sure. The modding community for this game is so cool. They do so much just nifty stuff. I don't know, maybe if I ever get good at this game, I'll have to take a look at something like that. Hey, there's orbit. That's how you make an orbit. So that is one of our contract parameters completed. Mission Control is still debating the best way to get you back home. You're back to Toothbrush, right? Hopefully. And now, the next objective... Well, first what I'm gonna do... This is still high over Minimus. We actually did a flyby last time. We need to get closer. Do I want to get closer? Yes. Yes, actually. Yes, I do. Actually playing on Xbox is sadly no mods for me. Oh, that's... Oof. I feel for you. We're running a couple, full disclosure, but they're only visual mods. Parallax and... What's it called? Eve? Just make the planets a little prettier. Okay. I don't quite know where low Kerbal is gonna be, or low Minimus is, but I suspect it's pretty darn low. That's another contract parameter complete. This low pass is totally optional. It is not part of our contract. The only thing we have to do now is just go home. But we've got tons of fuel left. So I'm hoping to get a little extra science out of this. Let's warp around. There we go. What about now? Still high over Minimus. How close do you have to get? Jeez. Don't want to be the guy, but wouldn't it be more efficient to begin to lower from the highest point of the orbit? Would it? Maybe. No, actually, no, you're right. I thought about it for approximately 2 more seconds, and I've realized, actually, you are completely correct. We're back around to the apoapsis. No, you're 100% correct, especially if we don't intend to circularize, which we don't. We just want to make a low pass. Oh, Venus, you've saved us a lot of fuel. Thank you. It is appreciated. I don't have to circularize. We're not here to stay. We're here to just make a little pass and leave. So let's come back around. This is a little greedy that I'm spending fuel on this, but I'm pretty confident that we can make it home. We may have to get a little clever, but I don't know. Is it like sub 30? Sub 30 maybe? It can't be that much further down. You're about to smack into the planet. Go round. Finally. Looking at the surface of Minmus reminds you of a favorite childhood dessert. You're tempted to taste the surface. Someday, Valentina, someday. Let's see, we are above the lowlands. Cool, cool. Let's run some experiments as well. It's a little dark out here, but here, if I flip it around here, we should be able to see just fine. Goo. Feels right at home. Collect some temperature and barometer readings, which should be I would expect not actually too different from anywhere else in space that we've gathered them, but you know. The high radiation environment has caused a few of the samples to glow. It looks like this would be fun to paint the rocket with this. That seems totally safe. 100%. And then I'm going to actually hop Valentina out. Most of these experiments are not repeatable, but I'm going to grab those that are, just in case we run into somewhere else that we can do this from. Cool. I once ran out of fuel and the ship was very small, so I used the curving, put him in front of the rocket, and used the jetpack to slow down the rocket just enough to have it enter the atmosphere. Oh my gosh. That sounds, that sounds just a little bit tense, you know? We're over the lowlands now. Is this still the lowlands? It still is. I know that there are highlands and midlands. It's going to be a little hard to see them on the dark side here. It's probably not a priority for us to gather that right now. We'll be back someday. Yeah, we'll be back. It was tedious. Once, we were making a return trip from the Mun, and I was a little conservative with how deep I wanted to aero brake into Kerbin's atmosphere, because we did not have very much fuel, but I was also very afraid of just burning myself up in the atmosphere, even though I had a heat shield. I didn't quite know the limits of the craft, and we were like dropping from like millions in terms of our apoapses, like millions of kilometers, or not kilometers, just meters. And I set my periapsis too high in the atmosphere, so we kept like skipping off the atmosphere and having to slowly just aero brake down until we eventually re-entered. We almost burned off all of our ablative doing that dumb maneuver. And that was tedious as well, is why I think of it. That was a time to be alive for sure. Okay. So I believe the way that I want to do this is not like that. That's too much momentum. Pull that in. That's gonna, intriguingly enough, get us just recaptured. This drops us pretty high, But it does leave us with a lot of fuel. I've done that a lot of times. So it took over 10 rounds to stay in the atmosphere finally. It's just like, please, descend. How much is this gonna take? I wish it would tell me. Probably not a whole lot. This is probably the best escape I'm gonna get. And I mean, it's pretty good. You're dropping like several million meters closer. That's probably a reasonable escape trajectory. Yeah. It's pretty darn cheap, too. You still have not gone through your second stage. You've got tons of fuel left to make this happen. Yeah. Let's warp forward. We'll just get ready to head on out. Actually, let's check real quick. Just for future reference. Interesting. So under 60 is high over minimus. Under 60 kilometers. You gotta be real low. I'm guessing it is probably like sub 40, sub 50, or like sub 40, sub 30, I mean, in order to actually count as being low over minimus. Interesting. Okay. Well, today we learned. That'll be useful for future projects. So you're going to want to burn prograde, and what we're going to do here is we're going to escape in such a direction that we kind of get flung kind of against. How do I even describe this? I'm not going to be able to use the scientific terms for this, but we're just going to fling ourselves forward, kind of against the gravity. Like, against our potential, like, orbit here. And it's going to kill a lot of our momentum as it pulls us in. That is not, like, the scientific way to explain it. I am not a rocket scientist. This is just my understanding. Fling opposite way that you are moving, you know, basically gravity assist off minness in order to kill a lot of your momentum and lower your orbit for really cheap is all I can think of to say. We're passing the notes, so we gotta actually get this done. That ain't too bad. That ain't too bad. Now, it's more efficient if you're only interested in lowering your periapsis to make your slowdown from the apoapses. But I'm kind of interested in dropping both of them, frankly, so I'm going to see how much fuel that takes. Oh, we have so much. Oh, we are good. We're doing just fine. Oh, we are wonderful. We could probably re-enter just using the launch system. We've got so much extra fuel. That's good to know. That's good to know. This thing could probably get a lander out here. Which I suspect is going to be relevant and important in the near future. Cool. Very cool. Just kill that for now, and... do we have any... I'm gonna check and see if we have anything that we need to run in space high over Kerbal. I don't think we do, but I never really remember these things. Here. Now that we're here, before we do the big time warp, Do we need temperature or anything like that? No, and no. Alright, so we should be good to just go back. Goodbye, Minimus. You little ball ice cream. I'll be back for you. Don't think that you've gotten away with it this time. I got your number. I know where you live. The first time I used a rover was to rescue the mountain Kerbans. Oh gosh, I could imagine. Is that the one out there? No. No, I think that was still Minimus I saw. Now I've lost track of it. Goodness. Oh, quick. Retrograde. We're approaching the node. Don't get too distracted, Scarlet. You know, it's not over. Yeah, rovers are gonna be... We're gonna have to design rovers soon. Actually. Oh gosh. We're gonna have to design a Mun rover. And find out how to deliver it. Figure out a delivery system. Because we have not actually... Like, we've visited the surfaces, the surface of the Mun, but we have not, like, explored it. Like, we've been to one biome. A rover would be really, really useful. I've not made a successful Mun rover in many years. It's been a long time. Just make sure not to overburn here. That'll do. A little bit more. Eyeball it in. Just make sure not to overburn so you don't slam into the planet on accident. That should be okay. About 100k. About 100k. And then you can come down here. You can do the same thing. Thankfully, we aren't going to have an intercept with the Mun. That's a bit of a spooky possibility. It can happen. Warp forward a little bit more. Hello, Kerbin. Hello, Kerbin. You can see some like the cloud cover stuff that you're seeing is result of the mods. Specifically, I think the Eve mod. And then when we get on the ground, you'll see some additional ground scatter, like trees and flowers and stuff. And that'll be parallax. Mun casually throws rocket into interplanetary travel. It tries sometimes, you know? It makes the attempt. I mean, I respect it. I respect the Mun for trying to get in our way, right? I suspect its a tendency to throw people way beyond Kerbin will be helpful to us in the future, you know? We need to burn. Is this my re-entry? I think this could be my... I think this could be my re-entry if I wanted it to be. Hey, you wanna see something cool? I call it Kerbal syndrome. There will be no consequences to me leaving this, to me leaving this massive piece of space debris up here. Absolutely none whatsoever. Let's see. You probably burn down a little bit more. You can't activate the stage from here. Understandable. Now this is just a tiny little rocket. It's just meant for efficient space travel. It does the job. Ah yes, space trash, my favorite. Unless something is like entering the atmosphere, I don't delete them. Which will eventually result in consequences for my hubris. But don't worry about that. That is definitely not a concern. Um, let's warp around again, actually. This may seem a little odd, but I kind of want to do this properly. I want to get a decent angle, and I want to try and drop near the space center. So, oh, it's such a nippy little thing. Now it's this small. Let's actually burn this down again. There we go. That's better. That's better. Then you'll warp it one more time. You're gonna come around closer to the space center. Probably something, probably not where I put that mark, probably like here. And then you're gonna burn in. Just a casual drop from almost 90,000 meters. That should be tolerable. Probably burn off a little bit more momentum. You don't have to put the line right on KSC. In fact, I'm fine dropping like on the other side of it, so probably we would put it pretty close. I always seem to re-enter in the dark. Me too. This time, though, it seems that we're at least approaching the dawn, so hopefully we'll be able to see something besides our craft burning up. Okay, that's looking decent. That should get us dropping around the space center, roughly. We've got a little bit of extra fuel if we want to use it. Do I ditch the fuel or do I try to burn it all off? If we try to burn it off, like, it's a safer re-entry. But it's gonna impact our angle. What angle are we coming in at? Pretty shallow. It's not that bad. I think the craft can survive it. I think that's survivable. We'll quick save just in case I'm making a grave mistake. I can't really reload to the quick save normally, but there's a trick just in case, you know? There's a trick to it. And that trick is closing the game before it saves again. Not that I really want to, but you know, soft Iron Man, like Bronze Man kind of save, you know, is the vibe. We should be fine. I'd be mostly burning off horizontal momentum anyhow. The safety concern is going to be... Your number one safety concern is your vertical speed. So yeah, ditch it. Ditch it and hope that it gets far enough away that we don't crash into each other. It looks like it's going on a different angle than me. That's fine. Set to surface momentum. Yeah. We should be good. Good old Alt F4? Mm-hmm. Exactly. Alright, I think it's starting to come back. No, maybe it's going faster. It should be going faster, actually, than us. Because we've got the heat shield. We've got the flat side facing into the atmosphere. That thing should maybe be going faster. One would hope. Do I dare? No. I don't think I need any scientific experiments from up here. Ooh, I can't speak today. My apologies. parachutes. Here it goes. While that comes in, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. See the Space Center. Oh, we're right over it, actually. Cool. Well, we probably could have burned off a little more momentum, but that's fine. We'll still be within pretty close distance of the place. And the reason, of course, that we want to do that is we get a higher percentage of our money back on any recovered parts when we drop close to the Space Center. I just love the sound of burning rockets. Me too. It's good stuff. Good for the soul. Nothing while flying at Kerbal. Over Kerbin's water. Is this just generalized? Huh. The barometer is generalized to flying at Kerbal, but the temperature thing does per biome. That's interesting. Good to know. And this should go pretty well. We have set our parachutes, for the record, because there have been incidents. By default, a parachute is set to open, or this kind of parachute, your main chute, is set to open at like 1,000 meters off the ground. And we have doubled that. So about 2,000 meters, so you actually slow down in time. We had a few close calls. And in another save, we had a few, not so, I mean, they weren't close calls, they were just, calling the families, you know? So, out of paranoia, we just double our parachute deployment, elevation. You know, just a little safety feature, because we care about our staff. And how much it costs to hire new ones. That should be fine. We're just gonna drift in here. Gosh. You know, it's not like a visually, like, super high... You know, it's like not photorealistic. Right? It's not like stereotypically a pretty game, but gosh, it's this just looks good. Just looking at the little polygons over the horizon as you're coming in after a long mission. I don't know, I just like it. Ma'am, we have bad news about your husband. Exactly. Exactly. We had to make one of those calls, and I said no more. Alright, it's a touchdown. Let's do a final check. This is why we check. We do want a barometer scan. I don't think we want... Oh! And we do want a temperature scan from the water. Cool. Yeah, it has its own style. It does very well for itself. I'm a fan. That is our contract complete as well. Our engineers are already repurposing parts of the vessel from Minmus for other missions. Good work. Good, good, good. And we have successfully completed the contract. That's going to be a lot of money when we get back. And a lot of science, too. Good stuff. Happy to see it. There we go. It just takes a sec to load. Sometimes I get kind of lost looking at the loading thing. 180 science. Oh, that's so much. Oh, that's really good. We've got tons of science stored up. I'll explain why in a moment. But that's really, really good. How much money did we make back? Okay, we made back about 1/5 of what we spent on the rocket. It's about a 30k rocket setup. Making back about 1/5 of it's pretty good. Decent value. And Valentina goes up to level 2. Very nice. That's 2 level 2 pilots. That'll be helpful. Good, good, good. Mission control. Ah. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Well. This'll be fun. I love rendezvous missions. My favorite. Actually. Oh. No, I don't think that works, actually. There's no craft there. We'll have to see. This could be a chance to do our rover thing. The power of science, that's right. We're gonna have to review the science here in a moment. This is gonna be an interesting mission. This could be an opportunity for us to do something fun. Oh, and they want us to test the Poodle liquid fuel engine at the launch site. I'm gonna take this really quickly, because we can do that instantly. That's just free money. Launch site tests are just free. So you're gonna load... Where's my test can? I don't currently have one. Make a new one. Just put a command module on it, give it a tiny little bit of fuel so you can activate the engine. And we're supposed to test the Poodle, right? Uh-huh. Okay. Alright. Just in case something unthinkable happens, let's put a parachute on there. This is a test can. And this thing has one job. You're gonna put this on the launch pad real quick. And in order to complete these test missions, you just have to activate the part through staging while at the location. And so Jeb has done a bunch of these. We're not going to throttle up at all. We're just going to make sure. We're at Kerbal, we're on the launch site. I press spacebar, and that's free money. That's a free 3,000 bucks. It's pretty minor, but I do them when I see them. I love the safety standards here. Yeah, just throw a parachute on it. That'll definitely solve the problem if something unthinkable happens. It's just these Kerbals are so expensive to lose. Thankfully this campaign we haven't lost one yet. We've been very, very careful. We get all of our money back. That's cool. But like, look how much these things cost. 124,000 for our next hire. Absolutely insane. Shaking my head. Somebody wants a pickup from the Mun. Would this work for the mission? Though instead of a Kerbal, maybe a satellite rather? You know, that would be a good idea too. Just making an unmanned test. That would probably be even safer, actually. I didn't even think of that, but we do have the unmanned thing for that. Well, let's go ahead and take this. So we want to go and we want to do a... We want to transfer crew between vessels near the Mun. Right? That's what we want. We also have a mission to plant a flag on the Mun. We want scientific data from the surface of the mun. That's about it for mun-related things. But that's a lot that's telling me. Go to the mun. Put a rover on the mun. Bring the rover up from the mun. And then, like, I don't know, maybe bring it home or something? I'm not really sure. So the guy lost in space won't be saved then? No. What was their name? Chadlock? Chadlock sounds like, he'll figure it out. He'll work something out, you know? So, here's my ambition. I want to send a craft that is capable of dropping a rover, which will land on the mun. Or maybe, actually, here's a different idea. Maybe it doesn't have to drop the rover, because then the rover has to come back up to the craft. I don't think that's not viable for the mun. It has too much gravity. What you could do is you could build a craft that takes a rover down with it, like a little guy. Drops that rover off, and then when you're done with the rover, like that's a separate craft, then you can climb back into the main craft and go home. I kind of like that. I kind of like that idea. So, we don't currently have the tech for that, but I think we could figure it out. We have a lot of science built up. The only reason I haven't spent more of it is because this stuff is locked behind an R&D upgrade, which costs a lot of money. A lot of money which I think I now have. So, let's figure out what we need. Let's figure out what we need. Oh gosh. Probably not this yet. It's like landing stuff. What tech is this gonna be? Where do I find rover stuff? Space exploration. Oh, here's the legs. Why did I call them legs? These are your wheels. Okay. Isn't there like an external seat as well? If you got up to precision engineering, that's probably unnecessary. Put a solar panel on it, you can transmit stuff back while you're in the field. Send a scientific Kerbal, a scientist Kerbal, along with some... Where are they? EVA experiment kits. And you could maybe refresh some experiments, like a goo can. Like, take around a goo can in a little rover. Go on a little adventure, you know? One command capsule has an alternate design for a rover. Ooh. Command capsules? The lander can? Could it be one of these? Ah, I see. I see. But the thing that I'm thinking of, the external command seat, is actually really expensive. We'd have to get so many techs. We need to go like aviation or flight control or something, into landing, into advanced landing, into field science. We probably have the tech for it. It's one of the cans. Interesting. We could do something really silly with the lander can. I think I want to unlock this anyhow, because I think this is going to be our first multi-Kerbal mission. I mean, besides tourism, you know? Okay. In that case, we are going to commit a lot of our money to this, but this is going to unlock some very important stuff. We're going to pay most of our current budget in order to upgrade R&D. This is going to raise our research science limit, so we're going to be able to research more advanced techs. We're going to be able to collect surface samples, which will be really good. And resource transfers will be available, which is not relevant just yet, but is still pretty cool for the future. Ta-da! And it gets a lot bigger and prettier. And now it has the bridge that you love to fly under and definitely not crash into. I mean, if it's multi-Kerbal, we could also save the guy. Okay, maybe. Maybe we'll save the guy. I'll think about it. Maybe Chadlock does deserve to come home. It would be good money. And we did just spend a lot of money. So what I want command modules. I want field science. Right? I want field science, I want command modules. I want space exploration, I know that. That has my wheels in it. So you're gonna go here? You're gonna do this. Maybe you don't need to go up to field science. Let's test. Let's see if this command module does in fact have the alternative. Like, imagine how epic it would be saving Chad and also landing with him, or maybe on the way home. That would be pretty cool. You do make a very good point. Buy that. Variant. Oh, that looks so cool, though. What? Is it legal for something to be that cool looking? It's just a little box. That's gotta be the cutest box I've ever seen. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. Okay, that informs our plans considerably. Don't save that. Don't save that, but, oh, that's so cute. We should probably spend some time and make, like, a test rover to test here on, Kerbin. Because we want to make sure that it actually works. I know that the Mun has a lower gravity, but I think it would still be very helpful, right, to just make sure that things are stable. We've got a little more R&D to do. We've got more science, thank goodness. I need, for this plan to work, I think I'm going to want solar panels, probably. Do I? Actually, do I? Yes, I do. You do, actually, because, this is going to be an electric rover. Though it only fits 2, so if we want to have 3 Kerbal, 2 normal, 3 for saving the guy, so we'd probably maybe add another thingy on the back. That's true. Although this is the rover. We could have a separate command pod for, like, the ship that's going to be going home, right? We'll see. We'll see. That is an interesting issue. It should be big enough for our actual employees, right? I think we're going to need the solar panel because this is going to be a solar-powered rover. It's going to be electric. So let's grab that. You're going to want some lights on it too. I'm just going to drop the money and buy those parts. sure. I could burn a lot of money on modules right here. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna buy them so I don't have to worry about it. This is now saving private chat. Yeah, I guess it is, isn't it? We gotta figure that out. So that's gonna be that. Probably can't afford to bring much else along. We want the EVA experiments kit. This is important, actually, because this is going to let you redo scientific experiments. Right? So if we load a goo can on board, we can re-up the goo can using this thing. I believe. I've never actually done it before, but I believe that's how that works. This also unlocks our first docking port, which is notable. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah. Okay. You might want the Airstream protective shell for the rover. That's kind of optional, but it sounds important. Also, yeah, would need the dock for like having 2 separate ships then. Is this modded? Not anything functional. Only the visual mods. So we got Parallax and Eve for the visual mods, but nothing mechanical has been changed. Is there anything else that we need or want from this mission? We could get a better... Oh, that could be something. We could get better data transmitters. Because what we're running right now sucks. They're not very good. We could pick up a better one of those if we wanted. We don't have a whole lot of science left, is the thing. I think we got a spring for the Airstream protective shell, though. I think we're going to be building a big, bulky rover, and if that thing is going to actually get out of the atmosphere, I think we're going to need this thing. So, unless you want to go super heavy rocketry. Not yet. Not yet. That stuff's very expensive. I don't think we could afford it. It would be tough. Yeah, let's grab this. That's most of our science spent, and a very large chunk of our money. But now we have some experiments to do. So before we go on this mission, I'm going to do this in the space plane hangar, just so we have the runway to work with. I want to test a rover. Go for the other variant. Would you like to rotate, perhaps? No. Oh, yes. There you go. It's just a little shy. Have you accepted Saving Private Chad? We haven't yet, but we're going to. We need to actually make room for it as a mission. So we'll have to launch an in-between mission to clear out some of our current, what's it called? Our current contracts. But we'll do it. We'll get it in there, I promise. So something like that. Another set of those. Trying to line these up so that they're pretty even. Because I don't have a tool for that, actually. don't have a tool to place 4 wheels on something, which feels like an oversight, but so it goes. You've got 2 hatches. If you need to, you can block the upper one, which definitely is not a safety hazard. We'll add power in a moment. How much power storage does this thing come with? 100. That's doable. That's workable. So say hypothetically... No. Do you put them on the side? So that they're accessible easily? Or do you put them on the roof? I think you put them on the side, like up a little bit, right? Your experiments? We'll see. We'll see if it's high. It's not too high up enough. That was not a sentence. We'll see if it is not too high for the Kerbals to reach. That's a sentence. Yes, B, we have a person stuck in space and only you can save him. Yeah, we'll fit in saving him somewhere in the next mission. Yep, that's pretty much it. You could go double here, just so it's symmetrical and looks nice. A little less stress on your kits too. Sure. You don't have infinite inventory space. Could load like 4 kits in here. I don't know how much they do each. Do they have weight? You could get work lamps. You want headlights? Oh gosh, I feel like I'm playing with like a little... like a Lego car or something. Right, I'm building my little Lego car. I'm like, oh, you're gonna need headlights. Here you go, little guy. Here's some solar panels. You be good with those. Let's see. Where are the headlights? They're over here. That could work. That could work. That looks okay. Maybe need more solar panels? Probably. Probably more panels would be good. How much do they... 0.3 per second. How much does a wheel eat? This is of course going to be dependent on like how close we are to the sun, but the difference between Kerbal, between Kerbin and the Mun should be very minimal. We could get bigger ones. No. Find, where are your wheels? Here they are. How much do these use? Well, each one uses 1 electric charge per second. So... yeah, we need some more. Like, that covers 1 wheel. I think you just align the top with them, right? It's free space. They're not that expensive. They're not very heavy at all. That just looks a little silly with them like that. It's a start. It's a start. You may throw more on the top. I haven't decided yet. And then take off symmetry. On one side you're going to put this, and then on the other side you're going to put a thermometer. So it's a little asymmetrical, but that should be fine. These are the repeatable experiments. You don't need more than one. And that seems like a pretty darn good start to me. Let's test it. This is our test rover. It needs a cute name. We kind of have a problem when it's night, though. That's true. During the night, we're going to be operating purely on battery. But we can wait for night to be over. We can just camp out, right? Just camp out and wait for night to end. Or we could add a battery pack on this thing. If we decide that that's not too heavy. Oh, they aren't very heavy at all, actually. Like you could put a battery pack right on there. That's 200 charge. 200 charge. If you're using your wheels, it takes 4 charge per second, I think, to use the wheels on this thing. And that's going to amount to something along the lines of... Let's see, 10 seconds is 40. So 3... Come on, brain, you can do it. You can divide. You could go for like a little over a minute with this battery with no solar panel coming in. I don't know how much the lights do. That's not incredible. But it's better than nothing. So if you suddenly lose solar panel, you're not done for. It does block an entrance. That is true. It does block your upper entrance. Can you mount this? I think the issue is you can't really mount it anywhere else. I think that's the main issue here. We'll run without it for the land test here, and we'll see how much power we burn through. I'm just curious about my lights. They're under utility, aren't they? Yeah, here they are. Gosh, oh, 1.2 per minute. That's not terrible. That's not bad in the slightest, actually. Double check this. Yeah, one per second. Okay, this can be a start. This is our test rover. Who's in charge? You got Jeb, and we'll put Bob in it. Bob is going to be your intended passenger. We're going to conduct some experiments here. First, we need to figure out, does it actually drive without flipping over or anything? Is the base wide enough to give it stability? How much power do these wheels provide? How do we need to set like limiters on them? You know, we need to figure out the specs here on our nice little dirt runway. How do we turn? Oh, it's bouncy. It's cute. Look at it go. Oh my gosh. What's our braking like? Pretty good. And you can toggle it and you stay still. Okay, how do we turn? Only have to hold one button for it and you kind of turn around slowly. That's not bad. For something this big, that's pretty nice. Then you straighten out easy. What kind of speed can we get up to in this thing? Ooh, you do have to be careful picking up any kind of speed. Yeah, and turning. Good to know. But if you're just doing it straight... Ooh. You kind of drift a little bit if you're not careful. Oh, yeah. Why is that? What would the cause be for that? Okay, some runway goo. Let's just gather that up while we're here. Cool. So that's something to diagnose. Had to reload a bit because it went too fast on the MUN eventually. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with a lower gravity on the MUN too, which could result in some increases to these problems. Hmm. If you break and stop, can your scientist get out okay? Yeah, your scientists come over and easily reach your experiments. Very good. Can you climb back in easy? Little hop. Uh-oh. How does it look inside the can? Ooh, good question. Let's see if we can get back in the can and find out, shall we? Takes a little bit of work, but there we go. Oh, it looks good. It looks really good, actually. A little rocky. How's it turn? Oh, the brakes are on. That's why. Take the brakes off. I said take the brakes off. Oh, you can just rotate. Rotate and go. I like it. It's a cute little craft. We need to diagnose the drifting problem. It probably is a result of some kind of uneven distribution of weight or something. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Does it help if I turn SAS on? No. I'm not even sure if I did. How do I leave this? There we go, C. Yeah, I turned it on. Let's go for a little drive. Oh, here we are. So long as you get momentum and just turn using Q and E, like little bursts of additional momentum, it's not too bad. It remains relatively stable. Don't mind the seam in reality right there. Yeah. You gotta be a little gentle with it. And you can't turn... Oh, lovely. You can't really turn while... Braking's okay. How's our power consumption been? We've been filling up power the whole time. We're staying topped off. So if you were to hop out here... like, grab some kits... Oh, well, good job. You managed to get up on top. Proud of you. But could we reset the experiments here? Like, collect the data. And could you restore this? Oh, there you go. Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Well, it looks like we're going to be able to gather some data from around the space program, right? As a little test. This is cute. I like this. This is a good project. Good Kerbal? Mm-hmm. That's right. Take the data. Observe the mystery goo. Cool. Keep that experiment. And you've got a lot of data now that you can load in here. Now we've double stacked some data because goo data doesn't like... Oh, come on. This is the difficult part. We may need to add a little back ladder here. That'll be on the list of modifications to make. What experiments do I have to dump? I have a suspicion. Atmospheric scan, goo. Yeah, you could only keep one copy of the goo. Okay, good to know. And then you've burned up... That was only like... So it seems you can get 3 experiments restored from a kit, is what I'm seeing. Sure. Let's go test that again. I'm also interested in the storage capacity. Build up some speed. Yeah, when we start to get above like 6 meters per second, we start to drift. Like pretty noticeably. Like you see there? Like it's tolerable. It's not the end of the world. It's lagging a bit. Is it on my side or yours? Ooh, let me see. We were having some problems with that yesterday. I think it's on my side. Ooh. Let me check. It's just like a visual lag, right? I was working on diagnosing the issue yesterday, and I think I have an idea regarding it. Though it seems that my fix didn't work. Let me take a look at that real quick. My apologies. Let me take a quick look, because I believe if it's not, if the audio is not lagging, it might be an encoding issue, is what I was looking into. But that doesn't seem to have fixed it either, what I tried to fix yesterday. It's the whole stream, like it loads. Oh, it buffers? Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, we had that problem yesterday too. Yeah, so that I'm quite sorry, but that's not a you issue. I think that's a me issue. I'm sorry to say. My apologies that we're not quite providing the quality that we should be here. I suppose I will have to look into it more over the weekend, won't I? Thank you so much for letting me know though. We keep working on things, keep trying to improve it. How do the lights go? Okay. Cool. It seems to have settled right now anyway. Good. Good. That is something that is something that I've noticed, is sometimes we do get that buffering problem, and then it just seems to go away on its own without me actually changing anything. I think it's just an internet problem in that case, annoying as that is. Here, let's hop out here and continue with our little operation. Climbing out seems to put us on top. Letting go just drops us down. That makes sense. Where are we right now? Mission control. Very cool. Let's collect some data. Restore this one. Observe the goo. There we are. Come back around here. Don't overwrite that. Take it. Cool. Well, that's a pretty good, I think we have a better idea on what we need to change here. Adding a ladder being chief among them, I think. Especially when we get to the Mun, or places with lower gravity, that jump could end up being pretty cataclysmic. So, let's go ahead and recover the craft. I'd say things went pretty well. It's a good test. Yeah, I'm peeking over. It does look like it's settled down. That's good to see. Oh, there's the birds. Good. A little bit of sound. A little bit of science. Good stuff. Alright. Let's go keep working on this thing. On the Mun, you just jump on the rover instead and enter above. Yeah, that's true. That is an option. But we could also just add this little guy. This little guy should help a lot. Just a little ladder so you don't have to do the jump. The jump could potentially be hazardous / annoying to do at moments. So we'll do that. Otherwise... You see, I'm just not really sure how to fix the drifting issue, or if that's something I can fix. It doesn't seem to be in a particular direction. Maybe it just doesn't have enough traction, so it starts to drift. Maybe that's it. Maybe the craft doesn't have enough traction. If I up that, does that help? Like, double it? Oh, come on, let me select you. And, the brakes seem decent. You could maybe up those a little too, actually. Come to think of it. Yeah, traction control up, bring brakes up to like 70%. That did not take. Why not? Because it's auto. I need to override it, don't I? I'm quickly learning that I don't know how this works, because when I deselect it... Okay, this time it stayed. Yeah, let's override. Oh god, quit doing that. Okay. I think I did it this time without messing it up. Let's see if that helps. Let's see if that helps at all. Let's go... Just save these changes, and let's go out for another little drive real quick, just to see if we fix the drifting issue. That's my #1 concern right now. And also if the ladder works. Hopefully we did not place the ladder in such a way that it's blocked our egress. That would be my main concern with adding that ladder there. We're also backwards when we start here, but that's fine. We can turn on a dime, that's very cute. How fast can we go before we drift? It's even worse. I did not fix it, I made everything worse. Good to know we can stop on hills. Can we reverse on hills? We can. Okay. Okay, cool. And the power... I mean, we seem to be doing fine on power during the day. I think that's our final test that we need to do, is we need to go to, like, the night and see how long our power lasts. Houston, the ladder is blocking the entrance. Who the hell is the engineer that put this together? Exactly. It is possible. But it does look like it's worked, and that the ladder does function. Can we climb back up? Oh, we can. It's alright, Houston, we got it all figured out. No problems here. The brakes are on. I don't don't pay attention to me. The brakes are on. Cool. We do very slowly drain power. Oh, a little bit of a spin out. We do drain power while driving, but because we can't actually keep the throttle up constantly or else we spin out, I guess that works in our favor. Cursed as that kind of is. And we seem to maintain momentum really well too. Like, we are not actually losing momentum here on our wheels very readily. If we tap it, we can even get going pretty fast, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's do a brake test then. Getting up much faster than this is proving difficult. Yeah, oh. Yep. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Scarlet. So, above 9 meters per second might be a little hazardous. By the way, who is that mouse in the corner? Oh, that is, that's our little... that's our little PNG tuber, I suppose. Grimbim's one of our viewers and a friend of mine drew that for us and has convinced me to use it, and I've become extremely attached. We did not start out with the intention of, like, doing PNG tuber stuff, but then it was like, I mean, it's just so cute. Yeah, isn't it? We have an ambition, actually. We have a bit of an ambition. I want to save up some money, and then maybe when we hit... it's so sad sitting here. When we hit affiliate, I think I want to commission one like this, but in like the Mouse Ashley style. If you're familiar with that, it's our profile picture. If you aren't, but like one of these in like the Mouse Ashley style in order to. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, we really appreciate it. Come on, brain. You can say it. You can put the words together. I believe in you. Like that art style, but based a little bit more off of like my features. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked it. That's actually a very recent change. This past weekend was when we made that change. Since I mean, I guess Mouse Ashley is not exactly a long-running meme, right? Relatively recent development. Here we go. A lovely .4 science. We did get our money back. Despite the spin out, we didn't explode. That's a good sign. Alright. Well, I think that craft is vaguely serviceable. Honestly, the profile picture is the reason I joined. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that, actually. Just means it's effective, right? I just found, I don't know, like, Grim introduced me to Mouse Ashley, like, started, like, DMing me memes and stuff. And I just became, like, so attached so quickly. Just, like, she is just like me, for real. I had used the same profile picture for things for, like, years before Mouse Ashley came along. So it took a lot to change it, right? Mouse Ashley beats a very high bar. what are we up to now? What needs to be done? What needs to be done is we need to make room for this rescuing Chadlock mission. I think that's the next thing that we need to work on. Because rescuing Chadlock from Orbit of the Mun is like a high priority. I suppose I'm a bit biased towards that kind of profile pictures of furry. No, that's alright. That's perfectly alright. I don't know. I don't know if that label fits me. I've been asking that question here recently. It's a question that comes up repeatedly. Not like during stream, but like mostly from Grim, actually. Mostly from Grim. Whether or not I am, and I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Not too overly flummoxed about it. I just think the little mouse girls are cute. And maybe I want to be them, and maybe that's okay. You know? Okay, here's what we can do. We need to clear up some contracts in order to set up the Chadlock mission. We've got 2 right here that are going to work together really well. We need to ferry 2 tourists safely to their destination and back. This is just an orbit around Kerbal. Alright, it's basically free money. And we want some scientific data from around Kerbal. We can just get a crew report. And that's going to clear out those 2 contracts. We're going to get that done. And then you can save Chadlock. And it's going to be fine. By basic definition, a furry is merely someone who has an interest in anthropomorphic animals, which would count these mouses, by the way. Well, then I suppose I am. By that definition, I suppose I would be, most certainly. And I don't mind that at all. Come on, brain, what were you doing? I know what you were doing. You were going to launch. Here it is. This is the COPE, the Commercial Orbital Passenger Escort. It is designed to take tourists up and send them into orbit and bring them home. We're just going to run one of these missions real quick. It is the acronym that I am most proud of coming up with, clearly. I want to do more clever ones. Unlike the scientific flyby craft, that one's boring. We need better acronyms. And it's why we also need a good acronym for the rover, don't we? We need a name for that rover. It's so cute, it deserves it. We're gonna think about it. We're gonna think about it while we launch this craft. This is pretty much a milk run mission. I've done this 1.5 million times. We're just gonna launch up. This stage will get us almost, it'll get us out of the lower atmosphere. Then we switch over to our main liquid tank, and that'll get us the rest of the way real easy. I have not thrust limited these, though. We're going too fast. It's not a problem, it's just inefficient. That's okay. Very safe, okay, good, they didn't explode. Sometimes they do. Rolly? Ooh, now there's an idea. The rolly and like little quotation marks. I need my maneuver node. And I need to rotate to 90 degrees and pull us over. Actually, even further. That apoapsis is pretty high already, actually. Just burn sideways at this point, basically. This is not as powerful an engine as the Heavy Launch System uses, so you do need to burn, like, way out. in order to actually get into orbit. It's a little bit of a finicky craft, but so it goes. Oh, hello, man. Not today. We'll visit you another time. Yeah, the rolling. I like that. Like, you could put in little quotations and... the Rolly Rover. That rolls off the tongue, actually. It doesn't even need to be an acronym. It could just be the Rolly Rover. Our apoapsis has gone way too high. Well, I was distracted there. Whoops. Whoops. We're in space now. Just manually bring us up. Hopefully we still have enough fuel for this. I just wasted a whole lot of it. This will have to be a pretty tight burn. Go prograde. Somewhere out there is Chad. We'll get you. Yeah, we're coming for you, buddy. Don't worry, we haven't forgotten. We just got a bit of a backlog to clear. That Delta V worries me. But I think we can do it. I think we got most of the burn out of the way. We just need to tap it above 70k real quick and then drop back in. Get a little closer. Just eke out everything you can with this fuel. Good. Job done. And while we're... oh gosh, what were those colors? Kerbal Space Program is a strange game. We're gonna get this crew report. It has no scientific value, but it'll complete the contract. And then, I think we just go back in, honestly. Go retrograde. We've got enough fuel. This will be fine. Do we want to go back in here? We can wait till the other side, actually. Yeah, wait till the other side, get closer to KSP. You know? Those colors are the mystical Kraken. Yeah, I believe it. Goodness. Just caught a brief glimpse of the... of a monster, is what it felt like. Okay. This should do. This should do. This should get us pretty close to the space center if we burn down from here. Retrograde. That's re-entry. Cool. Cool, we even have a little bit of fuel left over. I was panicking over nothing. It's not an issue, you know? How do we safely let go of this? Probably just where we are now, right? Sure. Don't need that EVA report, but, you know. Imagine playing Kerbal Space Program in real time, no warping. Yeah, just, a couple real-life years before you, manage to get a min-miss, program going. I mean, it would give you, Certainly an incentive to run multiple missions at the same time, right? I mean, I'm sure that there's somebody who has done it. I'm sure. Like, oh gosh. Like those people that run. What game is it? No, jeez. I don't remember. I have this vague memory of hearing of people who would like run some game that ran in like real time, like constantly, like, you know, would keep their computer on all the time, because they didn't know about the fast forward feature, or didn't know about, or like their computer couldn't handle it or something. It's a vague memory. We're now approaching. Go retrograde, set that to surface. Maybe that is Kerbal Space Program I'm thinking of. Is somebody who would run like missions in real time because one of those reasons, like they didn't realize. Is it a U-boat game? No, you're right. Oh my gosh, Venus, you're a genius. You're right, it's the U-boat game. Like, wasn't it a Silent Hunter game? Yeah. I'm remembering. It was like this guy told the story of like he didn't, was it he couldn't or he didn't know about the time warp feature, and so he would just run the computer constantly in order to do these like massive like long haul missions. Yeah. Gosh, I imagine that would have to be like a special kind of atmospheric. Like, I don't want to play a game like that necessarily myself, but I imagine that has to be like a very particular kind of experience, you know? I don't think there's much of a way you can truly recreate that. Oh gosh. Oh, we should play. That just makes me want to play Silent Hunter now. I've never actually played it myself, frankly. Um, I've watched other people play it, and gosh, it just seems like a game that is right up my alley, frankly. I love my little simulators. Imagine playing that in VR too. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be immersive. Like you hear the alarm come on from the headset, and it's time to go. Oh, it might be. Speaking of time to go. It's 6 o'clock. Um, it's 6 o'clock, so we need to land this mission, and um, I am supposed to go play some Victoria 3, actually. Oh gosh, that snuck up on me. I was having too much fun. Goodness. I was thinking about streaming the Victoria 3, but I think if we're still having the buffering problem, I kind of want to hammer that out first. So we'll probably have to save Chatlock next week. 6 o'clock, it's 0 a.m. here in Germany. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's funny, because of the time that I stream here in the States, it ends up lining up like just perfectly for like our European audience. And just by the stats, most of the people that watch us is are not is they are like from Europe and such, and I just think that's kind of nifty, you know. Small world, big world, maybe. Not sure. The buffering is gone. Ooh, that's pretty good. Maybe, maybe, maybe. I probably, I probably, I probably won't stream it. I probably won't. Nah, I don't think I will. I think I'm gonna make the decision. Good to know that the buffering is gone, though. If you know Vicky3, do you also know Hoi4? Yep, I do. And no Hoi4 in the sense that, let's not forget to deploy the parachute. I totally did not almost forgot to deploy our chute. Don't think about it too much. um, yeah, I know how to lose at Hoi4 is about the extent that I've played. I enjoy it, don't get me wrong. Hey, shoot, deploy. Uh-oh. This one was not set to 2000, was it? Nope. I didn't panic. No, definitely not. That's not what you just saw. You see, when the parachute is set to like the default altitude, it's too close for comfort, you know? Especially if you're coming in over like any kind of elevated terrain. Like, it gets dicey real fast. But yeah, we'll have to play some of that on the channel sometime. I just don't know that today is the day, unfortunately. But that's okay. Tourists are taken care of. That is 2 contracts complete, and before I forget, we're going to set up for next time. When we're back with Kerbal Space Program next week, we're going to save Chadlock. That's a promise. Chadlock will either be saved, or will be flattened by a high-velocity rendezvous. One of the two. No in between. Alrighty. Well, gosh, I hate to run so quickly, but I am running behind for my little play date, so I should probably get shuffling. Let me go ahead and take us over. Let's take us over to ending soon. And a big thank you to everybody that tuned in today. You know, as always, you're the ones that make this so fun to do. A big thank you to our chatter today. Lovely, absolutely lovely getting to talk to you. It's been great. Thank you for convincing me to save Private Chad. I think that'll be a fun challenge for next time. I'm looking forward to it. And a thank you to the VOD watchers. Keep doing you. I think we'll be back with Kerbal Space Program probably on Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we will be back with XCOM on Monday at the same time, is the plan. So, have a nice night, stay safe out there, have fun, and bye-bye.